A Bridge Back Home is a great episode of Postcards from Buster. This is the 22nd episode of the first season, and this is, of course, in Brooklyn, New York. And I was really looking forward to this because I love New York, and Brooklyn is not somewhere that I'm too familiar with, so I was keen to see what it would be like. And I have to say, we have a load of really great footage, some great characters. Really thoroughly enjoyed this one, and this focuses on a child called James, and he leads Buster and Carlos around parts of Brooklyn as they're looking for Carlos's ancestors' oud, which is OUD, but I couldn't help but hearing it as double OD, as in Doctor Who. But this is an instrument that apparently has this, ability to bring people together and realize connections they didn't know about. And I learned about it. I'd never heard of the oud before. It's beautiful. The design of the instrument is gorgeous. And that's obviously the overarching narrative. But while we're there, we learn about different things. For example, I had no idea the Brooklyn Bridge was quite that long. I think they said it's just over a mile long, which I don't know. I don't know how safe I'd feel on a bridge for that length of time, but certainly that was very impressive. We got a glimpse of the Statue of Liberty, as I've mentioned before in Postcards from Busters. I love it when they show tourist things, the things that you as a viewer might be most interested in seeing. But we also have a good snapshot of the everyday life here as well. We learn that James is Christian, and Buster actually assumed he was Muslim. And there's this moment where Buster calls them Muslim, and they have to correct him, and it's kind of a weird moment actually, but it kind of shows that people do make these assumptions, but those assumptions may not be correct. And I thought, yeah, this is a slightly awkward moment in the episode, but it's actually pretty powerful, and really shows that you can't just assume these things about people. And of course, had he been correct, that's absolutely fine, but I think it was just a really nice way of saying, hang on, you think you know people, you think you know, or you predict things, or you expect certain things to be true, but until you actually take the time to get to know somebody or get to know a particular culture, you might not be correct about that. And I think that's a really important lesson to remember. We get to see inside a restaurant, and we get to meet this wonderful woman who runs the bakery, and it's the person they have to see about the oud. And she was fabulous. She had this great energy. She was an absolute joy to watch. Really thoroughly enjoyed her. And we actually got to see a religious ceremony as well, which I loved, because James is an altar boy, and it always feels like a treat when you get to see a bit of a religious ceremony, because it feels like it's the kind of thing that shouldn't be filmed, but at the same time, filming it is a great way to help further spread that message. So I rather like that. There's not a great deal of animation in this compared to other episodes. For example, we don't see too much of the live action being imagined in animation, but that's absolutely fine because it's still a very packed, entertaining episode. Great characters, as I said, some really great individuals. James is a perfect choice for showing Buster around, and I got a real sense of Brooklyn, and I have to say, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely, A Bridge Back Home is a quality episode of Postcards from Buster.